Hello, and welcome to an episode. Oh, Todd Talks and Todd Talks. People listen. Now be a good dog and heal. Bang. Hopefully. Oh boy, we got something to talk about today. Oh boy. Yeah, so we were talking, of course, about Gojo versus Makima, which just aired, and yeah, I lost. I lost as well as a lot of you lost, because some of you picked Makima, and oh boy, was this fight something to behold in the best and worst ways possible, because I feel that this is absolutely a matchup that people are going to debate long after Death Battle, this Death Battle is watched. Uh, I don't know where to start. I'm still thinking about the next time matchup, which, oh boy! So, I'll get this going. This was a good episode. It gave me a lot of Tatsumaki versus Mob vibes, which is not a bad thing, because I really liked that episode, despite the fact that I lost that one too. Well, because there was so many anime shots, like they really went big on the hand drawn stuff and everything, and I love that. That was really good, and it felt right for what this match was. But what was really interesting was that there were moments in the death battle where it was clear that they wanted to do certain things and showcase certain things, so that there wasn't any debates or whatever, and I appreciate that. Like that spot right before it's time for a death battle, where they said, by the way, negative energy, curse energy, and devils are going to be the same thing, which I misinterpreted, and I apologize for that on my preview video. One of you rightfully called me out on that. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, Gojo and Makima are both citizens of Japan in this death battle. I know a lot of people were debating that, because well, he's from an alternate version of Japan. It's well, yeah. So that was I'm glad they did that, because that was a very important part of the debate. And if you didn't read the G1 blog, Gojo won by one vote. One. And there was 28 people voting. One was undecided. Why am I even here? So that was I appreciate them doing that. The fight was fine. I did enjoy it. There were oddities in it to me. I'll have to watch it again, but it I think because of the nature of these two, they kind of held back, because this wasn't a fight where it would be like a Tatsumaki versus Mob, where they're just throwing whole bunches of things at each other, because Makima, in terms of her arsenal, is very much a case of, I'm gonna get the devils to do it for me. You see I'm hesitating, because this is one of those cases where I'm not disagreeing with the verdict per se. That I am not there. This isn't like Tracer, Scout, or some of the other ones where I'm just I don't agree with the verdict. John Wick versus James Bond. I still maintain that one, by the way. But I do disagree with some of the statements that they made to try and explain certain things. And I'll admit, part of it is based on my understanding and how, when I read the G1 blog, they gave some very interesting insights into Makima and Gojo to kind of influence this line of thinking. So my biggest problem is that they said that Makima wouldn't be able to control Gojo at all, or at least for only for a very small amount of time, because of his reverse curse energy. I don't agree with that for several reasons. The first reason is that they said that because of who Gojo is him, that she wouldn't be able to, or she would be able to see oh, he's on this level, and I wouldn't be able to control him. Not unlike how there were certain gun devils certain devils like the gun devil or the darkness devil, where she had to fight them and beat them to submit them. My problem with that is, based on what I read in the G1 blog, that was very specific circumstances, and she didn't control Denji because of the respect she had for the Chainsaw Man. And Chainsaw Man was a part of him, and so they were basically intertwined beings. By her own statement, you were part devil and part human, and so that's why she had to do the mass manipulation plan. But this is a death battle where she has no information about Gojo going into this, and Gojo has no information about Makima going into this, and so by that token, she would smell that he's human. And the moment she smells that he's human, it doesn't matter his power level, she would control him. So I didn't agree with that. And then he said like she would not be able to control him for long, and then cited how power and Angel Devil had broken out of control. As noted by the G1 blog, those were under very specific circumstances. Like the Angel Devil had to be shown that Makima was controlling him via past memories, and that broke him out. Versus, and then in power, that was because of Denji coming into play and helping break power out of control. So that was an outside influence both times. So I didn't agree with that. And then they started like the flower field thing where that was like, you know, losing willpower, like lowering willpower. This isn't willpower. This is control. All right. And so it's one of those things where it's very much about the wording, which I'm sure they battled when they were writing the script by all means. And technically, I'm not saying that Gojo would lose, because if we're going control versus infinite, unlimited void, that's still a question of, you know, who would get hit first, and you could argue that Makima would still get hit first. But by their own admission, she is faster than him and can also teleport, so she could technically avoid unlimited void. It's one of those weird things. And then someone actually pointed out in the G1 blog that because she has the spider devil, she can actually get transported from a different domain into hell. And remember, domains can be pierced from the outside. So she could be transported, regain her state or whatever, and then she could come back and attack Gojo. Or she could take Gojo to hell. So, because the Spider Devil would be consuming his space, not technically Gojo, so Infinity would not work there. Again, this is a debate that you can battle, you can discuss a million different ways. I picked wrong, but they also admitted that certain situations Gojo would lose, so I appreciate that, and Makima definitely did have certain stats over him, but I guess in the end, Gojo really is him. Also, did you notice that in his breakdown, they didn't cite a single weakness of his? Not exactly the best way to say, like, oh yeah, he could be beaten. Yes, they did reference his death later on, but I'm just saying. So yeah, I lost. How many of this close battles are we going to have this season? I don't want any more. I don't want it. Alright, next up. Oh my gosh. Sorry, next time on Death Battle. Rattle. Gonna be in Rattle, Racky. The things I do for love. We're doing Scooby-Doo versus Courage. Do I need to explain how wrong this is? Okay? These are two of the most iconic dogs in the history of history, and we are going to be taking them into a death battle. We have to watch one of these dogs die! Oh my god. That's an information overload. I would die from that before I died of unlimited void, okay? I'm just saying. I have no words. I really don't. Death battle, you son of a bitch! I don't know what to say. I really don't. You're just gonna have to wait for my preview, I guess. Yeah. And before I go, you know what I'm gonna say, because this will be the last time I get to say it. Yeah, it'll be the last time I get to say it. This is the last week of my Kickstarter. I'm in like the last 8 days right now. And so if you haven't pledged yet, please pledge. We've got a lot of great rewards. We're already at our funding goal. We're 15 away from 100 backers. And even if 15 of you right here watching this only pledge $1, that gets you to my goal. And hey, I got great rewards. You can get drawn to the comic. You can get a whole bunch of comics for like $15. You could, I can help you make comics. All I ask is that you check out the Kickstarter, please. And then if you can pledge $1 or share it around to someone who might pledge it to it, that would be great. So, with that, I made this episode Todd Talk. What did you think of Gojo versus Makima? And how blown is your mind from the fact that we're getting Scooby-Doo versus Courage? Let me know in the comments below. So, I thank you for watching. It made us far. I know you were listening. And I'll see you around.